inaugural movie night with JL Media right here at Hamilton IMAX 16, Noblesville. David Banks is joining me this night. How you are, brother?
I'm good, Johnny. How are you doing?
David Banks is a co-host from Indie Drinking Dead. You know my voice alongside of his on Sunday nights. Thanks for joining us, bro.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
We've also got some nerds from the South Side.
Hey.
How's it going?
Yeah, 2/3 of nerd management. We got Alec and Rob down there. How are you guys?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there.
See,
we're pretty good.
We are sans Warner. I thought Warner was going to be here, but of course he has a gig tonight.
Well, yeah.
He thinks he's a rock star, doesn't he?
He thinks, for sure. Well, you notice you've never seen Rob and Warner in the same place.
That is,
is
a very true statement.
I'm just Warner in a fat suit.
Right.
So, comb my hair a different direction, I'm good to go.
You're Warner and Chris.
We're going to start our
Combined.
premiere out tonight with the premiere of Batman and Superman. But we're also going to do it right, brothers. We have the manager of the whole building here with us. His name is Steven. He looks very, very young to be a manager, but he says he's not that young.
Well, I'm the assistant manager.
See, I was going to let you have that. You could have just gone with it.
You
Nobody
should
would
have
have
owned it, man.
Well, I have to be here tomorrow, you know?
He appreciates the honesty.
You should have took ownership in that. Yeah, I run the whole place. Yeah.
I'm running it right now.
Yeah, see, there you are.
We know Goodrich Quality Theaters is a fine.
Oh, little technical difficulties here. But no, the Goodrich Hamilton
Wow, there
IMAX
we go.
Theater. Oh, hey, I was.
There's
gonna,
our flub for the night right there.
all right,
First one, and it's me.
let that be the only one.
Goodrich Quality Theaters is a fine establishment. As soon as I said that, the thing messed up. You saw that,
I
right?
saw that,
Okay. Tell us about Hamilton IMAX.
Well, the Hamilton 16 IMAX, we've been here since 2008. You might have seen Dark Knight here. That was one of our first IMAX movies that we had.
Oh.
So we have a purpose-built IMAX facility. We have the second largest IMAX screen. In the state museum has us by a little bit.
Well, that's okay. They're on the other side of town.
Yeah, they're in the other side of town. We're at Goodrich Quality Theater, which is a Midwest theater brand. We have 29 theaters throughout the Midwest, and we've been around since 1931.
31.
Really proud to work for Goodrich Quality Theaters.
I think the very first IMAX I saw here was Avatar. So that was a few years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I reeled up Avatar. I was a projectionist at that time.
07?
Yeah. Mhm.
07?
I believe so, yeah.
When was that?
I think 07 or 09. It was right there.
I think it was 09.
It was
09.
09.
I think you
It
might
was
be right.
09.
You might be
That
right.
was because I was a projectionist. I wasn't a manager. Yeah, I remember that. That was actually when we went over. We played Avatar in 7mm, and then we came back and we played Avatar in digital after we did it because that was a hectic couple months. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I will never forget that movie either. I was standing in line with the date, and we got in an argument in line to go into the movie, and that's a 2.5-hour movie.
That's a long movie.
That's a long movie to be mad at somebody right there. And of course, we broke up, but I didn't think I've been back for another IMAX after that. Not here anyway. I've seen other movies here, but not the IMAX.
Well,
So I need to get back in.
We're playing Batman versus Superman.
That's what I hear.
Dawn of Justice right now. We have it in IMAX 3D and regular IMAX. So.
Well, for the next 2 hours, brother, I'm going to be kind of busy out here,
Sure.
but I am going to get in there to see it very, very soon here. I guess you got a lot going on?
Yeah, can I plug something real quick?
Absolutely.
All
Go right
right.
ahead.
So right now we have our morning movies going on, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 10 a.m. We are playing movies. If you have our freaking moviegoer card, they're free. Otherwise, they're $1. Let's see, what's the date? We've got Pan going on right now. Next weekend is Hotel Transylvania 2. Then Max, Ice Age Continental Drift, Norm of the North, and then we finish it off with The Princess Bride.
Oh,
I'm super
sold.
excited about that.
I'm
That
sold.
is my gig.
And we have it at the good cost of free, or $1.
Wow.
So nothing wrong with that. If you can wake up in the morning, you can watch a movie for free.
I'm sold. I'm there. I'm here.
We appreciate having you all today. Thank you.
Brother, thank you so much. That's not a Midwest accent out here, is it?
It's a region accent.
Region?
Yeah, I'm up from around near Chicago.
Oh, okay. Chicago. I hear it now, Steve.
Northwest Indiana by way of Los Angeles down to Indianapolis.
Okay,
Yep.
that encompasses a lot right there, brother.
Yeah, I've been around.
A lot of mileage.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
All right, it's a pleasure.
All right, thank you.
Dudes, Batman versus Superman right here at Hamilton IMAX, Hamilton Town Center in Noblesville.
I have never been here before, and I'm highly impressed.
Yeah, we're from the South Side, like you said. I've never been here before. It's fantastic. It's really nice.
It's
Absolutely.
beautiful.
It is.
I've never seen a movie theater this clean.
I was literally going to say it's so clean.
Say
Yeah.
clean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like shockingly clean.
It is. It is.
There's great people here at Goodrich. I don't know if you can tell, there's a full mezzanine up here.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
There-
yeah.
There is a section up there for parties and things, but there's also a bar in that back corner upstairs, as well as a brand new bar under the stairs down here. We have a couple of bartenders over there
I did
right
see
now
that.
That's,
serving adult beverages.
that's cool.
Yeah, not that we have anything against the theater that we usually go to, but we'll just say it's much, much nicer here than what we're used to. So,
Oh, yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us, gentlemen.
oh, of course.
thank you.
Of course. Thank you for inviting us.
You guys, I got a lot going on over here. What is going to go on in this movie, man? Because I've heard all kinds of things and different opinions. People say, well, it was okay, it was good. No one's saying it's bad. People are coming out of here saying it's phenomenal, but nobody's saying bad.
Well, then we won't be the first people to say it then. But essentially in this movie, it's just like the title suggests, it's Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. So in 2017 or 2019, I can't remember, you're going to see the first part of the Justice League film. And so essentially this movie is trying to set up what's coming after it. I will say if you're coming into a movie expecting to see any other characters other than Batman and Superman, then I think this isn't going to be the movie for you. If what you're looking for is Batman and Superman, then you'll sincerely enjoy it, I think.
What about Wonder Woman?
She is. I don't want to talk too much about it just yet because we just started. But Rob, you can either disagree or agree. But I think she steals the movie. She's the best part of the movie.
I completely agree.
Wait,
That's
why
a-
do you not want to talk about it? We got to talk about Wonder Woman, man.
They don't want to spoil it.
Well, I
We
don't
don't
want to
wanna
spoil it.
spoil
We saw it
anything
last
for you.
night, so we don't want to spoil it.
Oh,
for
you've
anybody.
already seen it without us.
Right?
Ah, I see now.
Right.
I bet Warner didn't go see it without us.
No, for sure not.
Oh, Warner saw it without us too.
Did he really?
Okay.
Chris didn't. So you've still got Chris.
All right.
He showed up 5 minutes before the theater and was like, "Oh, I can get a ticket." No, you can't.
I've actually heard that from the reviews that I've read online about this movie that Wonder Woman, who we all know played by Gal Gadot, she is a scene
We all
stealer.
did not know that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You didn't
yeah.
know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, Johnny, come on now.
I know.
Man. Yeah, Gal Gadot, she plays Princess, help me out.
Diana Prince.
Diana, yeah, there you go. Wonder Woman. And from what I heard, she is the quote-unquote star of the show whenever she's on
Absolutely.
on the screen.
Agreed.
And she's in the movie maybe a total of 10 minutes, I think.
Right.
Every scene that she's in, though, is the best part of the movie. I mean, she was fantastic, sincerely.
And we should note that they are coming out with a Wonder Woman movie next year. They just got
Absolutely.
done wrapping a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. They will
Absolutely.
be coming out with her own movie next year. Like you guys said, this Batman v Superman is setting up DC Warner Brothers' own cinematic universe, something similar to what Marvel and Disney has done in the past. This is their version. So you're going to see a lot more Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Justice League, all of it, Suicide Squad,
Right.
everything is just going to be pushed out
Yeah.
here in the next few years.
Yeah, this movie is, and we actually talked about it on our podcast, but this movie is incredibly important to the DC universe. It's incredibly important because Marvel had kind of the luxury of coming first, even though obviously there were DC movies beforehand, but
Yeah.
they had they had the opportunity of coming first and having 8 movies to set up the Avengers, which is
Right.
their big crossover.
Right.
DC does not have that. They have to set up Justice League and essentially this movie and then like 2 other movies before Justice League comes out. So yeah, it goes back to it is just like the name suggests. It is the dawn of justice,
Right,
dawn of
right,
the Justice League.
right.
So.
You talked about it on your podcast.
Yes, sir.
And what is your podcast?
Nerd Management.
And where can we find that?
You can find it at soundcloud.com/nerdmanagement. You can follow us on the social medias if you're into that sort of thing. We're on Facebook, Nerd Management, Twitter @NerdMGMT, Snapchat. We even have that at NerdMGMT, and then we're on Instagram if you like pictures and stuff at NerdMGMT. So.
Now, exactly what do you cover down there on your show?
It's I don't want to talk the entire time. Rob's here too, but it's a pop culture podcast. We talk a lot about comic books, a lot about movies, TV, video games, wrestling. Honestly, there's nothing that's. We even recently talked about the Microsoft bot that got shut down within 24 hours for being super racist and Nazi-esque. So there's nothing that's not too far out there that we won't talk about. So
you don't want to talk too much because Rob is sitting there. Rob can join in at any time.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh no, I know.
I can tell you that Alec is much more a much more knowledgeable person about Batman than I am. So that's why I was
are you the Superman guy?
You know, I'm more of a Batman guy myself, but I've never been a huge Batman Superman guy until recently. Alec really introduced me into the more in-depth Batman stories.
Yeah.
I took him under my cape, if you will.
Under his cape, exactly.
That is what David tried to do with me.
Yes.
And explain to me, why Batman is the way he is now.
Well, okay. Let me take you back. It kind of changed with Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, the graphic novel from 1985. That kind of changed the whole Batman character in a way. It grounded it in a way. Because from what we've seen from Batman before that book came out was all flashy, cartoony, kind of cheesy type thing from Batman 66 and so forth and so on. Frank Miller came over from Marvel from revamping Daredevil and went straight to Dark Knight Returns, and he made a more darker, grisly, and for anybody who has read that graphic novel knows that that's basically the Bible of comic books right now.
It's up there, yeah. And the same year he did Year One, which he gave Batman an actual origin story. The origin story that we know now, that's what Year One is from.
Right.
So with Year One and then Dark Knight Returns, like you said, it set the tone for Batman for the next still going. So I mean, you're absolutely right.
And the movies to follow, from Tim Burton's 1989 Batman to Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, they all took certain things from Frank Miller and inserted them in their movie. Even Batman v Superman, from what we see, takes probably more than a lot from the graphic novel.
After seeing it last night, there are a couple of points in the film that are page for page in the book. I mean, even the suit that he's wearing is from The Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, this is a suit we have never seen Batman in this type of suit before. It's always been kind of a Matrix-like dark armored suit.
Absolutely.
We've never seen him in a black and gray classic Batman suit before. And
it doesn't end with just Batman. Superman has a lot of the qualities from Dark Knight Returns in this film as well. And you can take that or leave it. Some people don't really love the interpretation of Superman in Dark Knight Returns, and there's absolutely merit to that. But you can kind of feel it's what am I trying to think of? Phalanges and everything.
Right.
I just wanted to use the word phalange.
I've been thinking all day about how can we bring that word into the show, and I get the exact same word.
Hey, that's what you bring us here for,
Exactly. I can't get used to the new Batman. And David, we've had this discussion, my brother. We've had this discussion. I understand he's older and he needs armor now.
He needs the armor to battle Superman.
Why can't we do like we've done before?
What's that?
And just with the time jumps. I mean, I thought this Batman and Superman were pretty much close to the same age. I thought it was the same time frame. I didn't know Superman was a new kid on the block. Batman's been around forever.
If you're going by the comics, and this very much does,
right?
Superman is the first superhero. He is the alpha and the omega. Now, in this film universe, Batman's been doing it for a little while. I think they say like 10 years or something like that, which is why he's kind of old and grizzled. So it sticks with the comics that Batman in this universe, I guess, is not a superhero because he doesn't have superpowers. I mean, you can argue that I do. I think he's a superhero, but whatever. But Superman is the first superhero, and once you see Superman kind of come out and make his presence known. That's when you start to see every other superhero, every other metahuman is what they call in
Metahuman.
right, which is what they call in this, and then the Flash universe, like in the TV shows and such.
It's like
that.
a coming out party.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a good way
like
of putting it.
It's like Superman drops a really hot album, and that's
Yeah.
what. Yeah.
Superman's
As a-
mixtape.
that-
It's fire.
So, what do you think of the new Superman guy playing him? What's his name, David?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. Yeah.
Yes. What do you think of him as Superman? Is that your new Superman?
We've had so many Supermen, and they all follow the same template. Good looking, chiseled jaw,
Well,
great hair.
Christopher Reeve had the chiseled jaw, but that's about the only thing he had chiseled.
Well,
Even George Reeves. I mean, he had that strong jaw, but
You can't really change Superman that much.
I was having a discussion with some friends before the show. We were talking about Bonds as well. Bonds really don't change, but the character has, which brought different things to the character, as this new Superman does.
Superman is going to stay the same. He's going to do. He's the Boy Scout of the group.
Now, you keep calling him the Boy
Yeah,
Scout.
I keep calling him the Boy
because
because that's what
that's
he
what he
is.
is. I mean, that's what he is.
He
yeah.
is.
But he's doing it derogatory because he knows I love Superman. That's what he's messing with
I mean,
me. when he
he's wearing a
does it.
Superman shirt. I don't see you wearing.
He's
one,
doing
though.
it to mess with me.
I'm doing it to
Okay,
mess
okay,
with him.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
He also wears Patriots jerseys to mess with me.
Oh,
too.
no.
I do
That's-
that too. I do. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm that
Yeah,
guy.
sure. Yeah, sure.
And
whatever.
I'm also the one that says Daryl will die at the end of the
Daryl's
Walking
going
Dead.
to die. I don't understand.
I
It's
love
gonna
you,
happen.
Mandy.
Yes, it's gonna happen.
I'm that guy.
It's coming.
I have. Thank you. I'm that guy.
There has to be that guy, and I'm happy that you're that guy.
I'm the flying.
I'm happy
New Orleans.
he's
Right,
that guy
right.
because I'm not going to be that guy. I'm just not going to be
I
that
have
guy.
to. I have to. It's fun.
Ah.
It's
It's
fun
a-
being the villain.
It's amazing how many people have come through here in the last little while. It's a little quieter in the lobby now, but you cannot tell it to look around. There is a long line of people going out the front door.
Well, I think Batman Superman actually started, so I think that's where everybody went.
Well, they've played it a couple of times today already.
Well, yeah.
I mean, did you hear how much this movie will make? Is projected
it's
to make
insane. Yeah.
300 some odd $1 million worldwide.
And that's the thing. No matter what you say about it, no matter how you feel about it, it's going to be successful regardless. I mean,
Exactly.
and for good reason, I think.
Well, and I could have sworn today that I had read somewhere that it's actually it's the highest grossing Thursday preview movie.
Yeah.
I think it beat Ultron. It beat the first Avengers.
Yeah.
It
Star
beat-
Wars, probably.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
bunch
yeah.
of other movies. So,
Yeah.
so it's selling very, very well.
Yeah.
Despite the reviews.
Yeah.
Despite the reviews.
It has gotten a lot of mixed reviews, though. I don't pay attention to reviews too much. I mean, some of them are old stiffs, writing for these
Yeah.
fancy newspapers, magazines, whatever,
And that's one thing that I'll say after seeing it last night is form your own opinion about it, because the critics have not treated it very well.
Right.
Fans have treated it pretty well, though. They've actually liked it, and there's sorry, I dropped my phone there. There's absolutely things for both, and I can see why critics wouldn't love it. But just go into it, form your own opinion. Don't listen to really what anybody else has to say about it. Just do your own thing, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
And let's just say, let me just say that the
What?
movie, the
I was
movie.
looking at David's face just then. Go ahead,
Oh,
brother.
you saw that? Okay.
Yeah.
I saw it too. The movie is going to be dark. Okay,
Right,
it's
right.
going to be darker. Just as like people complain, oh well, Man of Steel was darker. Okay, yes, it has to be darker. I feel like it can't follow the same template as the Marvel movies, which was full of pop circumstance. It was the video game
Sure.
movie.
Sure.
This one has to be different, or else it's just going to be like people's going to say, "Oh, it's just like Avengers. Oh, it's just like Iron Man, Captain America, this, that, and the other." It has to separate itself from those movies, and I believe that it's doing a great job in that. Like a lot of people will like just down Man of Steel, like, "Oh, I didn't like it. I didn't do this." Yes, it had its problems, but I enjoyed it.
Right.
I enjoyed
I liked
it.
Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I did.
It was a different take. It can't follow. It couldn't do what Superman Returns did, which was basically an homage, a love letter
Sure.
to Dick Donner. So I figured like, well, Zack Snyder and Christopher Nolan came in and they changed the whole Superman mythos sort of around, if you will.
Right.
They did.
I just love the way you said it, bro.
You like mythos?
Mythos.
All right.
I think you said it totally fine.
Yeah, I think you nailed it.
Yeah.
He just never heard me say that word before. I think
He's getting all refined. And
I'm
stuff.
getting over. Yeah, I am.
At least you weren't the guy that said phalange. So yeah, there's that. No, it's you're right. If it was too bright and poppy, then they'd be like, oh, they're just trying to be Marvel. So
Exactly.
they have to do something else. They have to do something a little different. Whether or not I feel like they did the right thing is completely beside the point. They had to do something different to set themselves apart from it.
Agreed.
I agree. I totally agree.
Man of Steel. I like the movie. I love the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it was the original story, it didn't feel like the original story. You know?
Well, I mean, I could see that. I mean, there's been different comic book versions of Superman, you know, trying to reboot the character, if you will, in the comic books. And I believe that followed the Man of Steel version of the comic books, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
You guys will know.
it followed a couple. It followed Superman Birthright by Mark Waid, which is fantastic. A little bit of Dark Knight Returns, some of the Superman stuff, just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Even a little bit of All-Star Superman, which in there by Grant Morrison, which you can attest because you just read it not too long ago.
Yeah, it was
probably
fantastic.
Yeah, probably one of the best Superman stories ever written, if not the best Superman story ever written. So yeah, like there's a little bit. It dabbles in a little bit of everything.
Now, I got to be honest with you guys here, and please do not judge me when I say this. I'm a huge movie buff. I absolutely love movies. I always have. Not a real big comic book fan. Right?
That's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah,
Okay, I was
absolutely.
expecting to get judged by you
Oh,
guys.
no.
I mean,
No. Honestly, these superhero Marvel DC movies, they are the new westerns of this modern era.
I can see that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I can see that.
Everywhere you look, just like in, let's say, the 60s, 50s, 60s, when John Wayne and later Clint Eastwood came out with the westerns, we're in that era again, but only with these superhero movies.
It makes perfect sense. I don't think we've had a good Western in a while.
No,
And
no.
I'm a fan of the Westerns.
This is it.
All right.
True Grit was all right.
This is.
The
new
remake
True
was
Grit, I
not
think
bad at all, was
Yeah,
it?
it was okay.
I did not see.
I thought it was
remake.
decent. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I as well.
I think it was by the Coens, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
So I'll see a pile of crap if they direct it, so I'm fine with that.
Hamilton 16 IMAX at Hamilton Town Center in Noblesville is where we are premiering Movie Night with JL Media, our very first movie, Batman vs. Superman. Why Batman vs. Superman, do you think? Alphabetically had to be, right?
Sure.
Oh, cool. Because Batman came first in the.
Well,
in the title.
no, B comes before S.
Because
Figure, yeah.
Batman's cool.
Superman's not?
Everybody likes the anti-hero. That's what Batman is. He's the anti-hero. He tells the police, he's like, hey, jump aboard. If not, I'm going to still do my thing. You know?
I still don't understand why he gets top billing.
Because he's cool.
I think it also sounds
Okay,
a lot
that's
better.
not enough.
I think so.
He's got a better outfit.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
It just
Better outfit.
It
He's got
just,
a better outfit.
it just sounds better, is what you said?
He has the
yeah.
cooler car. How's that?
That's true.
All right, there you are.
That is true.
He
There
does
you
have a
are.
cooler car.
Now, this movie is where? I mean, you said it came after Man of Steel, of course.
Directly
It's-
right after.
yeah, it's-
During Man of Steel.
And what do you think we're setting up? Let's go through this again. What other movies are we setting up?
So, like you said, Wonder
Because I was told, I read an article, that there were far too many Easter eggs in it, and they took too much time setting up other movies.
I could see that. I could definitely see that because I mean, how many? I'm trying to think how many different superheroes we saw. We saw four different superheroes.
Not counting Batman and Superman.
Correct.
If,
yeah.
if you're counting Wonder Woman, you see 4 other superheroes.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
So it's I can see why someone would be would think that there were just entirely too many Easter eggs in the movie.
Right.
I mean, that's one of the things that I liked about it, I think. I don't know.
I think it was one of the best parts,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. But to go back to your original question, they're setting up Wonder Woman comes out next year. After that, I believe it's Justice League Part 1, I think. And then after that, I think
It's
there's
the Flash, right?
Yeah, I was going to say. I think,
the Ezra Miller Flash is after that.
And
yeah.
then Justice League Part 2 after that.
Aquaman.
Aquaman,
Aquaman,
is in
yeah,
there
of
somewhere
course.
as well. So Now that kind of shows you maybe who might show up in the movie, but it's So I mean, like I said, they've only got 2 movies or so, to actually set it up, and I mean, The Flash takes place in the middle of the break between part 1 and part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and actually Wonder Woman would be an origin story.
Yes, exactly.
So it would take us back in time a little bit, and
I think I would enjoy that more than the Wolverine origin story.
I would hope.
I
so.
would agree.
Yeah,
I would
me
hope
too.
so.
Yeah,
Well, I wasn't going to bash it too much. I was just going to say just a blank comment.
that was painful.
I mean, we can. I don't have any problem with it.
That was painful.
It was awful.
man.
What did you say about Superman and Batman on your show? See what I did there? Superman versus Batman?
Yeah. Well,
See, he's changing the script, man.
I will say that Warner and the other person that we went with, Michael, he's kind of the fourth person on the show, but they loved it. They thought it was fantastic. It was great. So if you want to hear, a really, if you want to hear the good side of it, listen to it because they'll be able to tell you. Rob and I were a little bit more. What's the best way to put it?
Not as thrilled leaving the theater.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that I'm probably the biggest Batman fan. Well, I don't want to say that. I'm a huge Batman fan, and
All
so it.
There's nothing wrong with that, Johnny.
Nothing at all.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Nothing.
Wait, what are you talking about?
But it takes it. It would take me a lot to fully fall in love with a character. I will say Ben Affleck's portrayal, minus one huge thing, he's fantastic. He's the best Batman that we've seen.
See, I'm amazed to
Thank
hear this
you.
because there's been so much speculation over him being Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, it's the Bruce Wayne part's great. I mean,
but he killed both.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Like I said, and I won't say what the big, huge part is that I don't like because I don't want to ruin it for anybody else. But if that big part wasn't there or if it was changed, he would be my absolute favorite Batman behind or in front of Keaton. So
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Tough guy Ben Affleck, I just can't see it.
Okay,
The Town was about as tough as he got for me.
Okay. Let me take you back because
Here we
no.
go.
Let me take you back to 1988. All right. I don't know how old you guys are.
26.
Okay, so
27.
So you may not be old enough to remember this.
Sure.
1988. I remember when they first cast Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne / Batman for Tim Burton's Batman that was released in 1989. That got so much flack about
Well, I completely agree.
because
but
they was like Mr. Mom,
Right,
Beetlejuice.
he was a comedic
Mr.
actor.
Mom.
He was
Yeah.
a comedic.
Yeah, he was a comedic actor.
Well, that was still the comic book role Batman. That wasn't the big, tough guy Dark Knight that we know as
That
Batman.
was the darkest Batman that we have ever seen up until that point.
Absolutely.
It was Tim Burton dark.
It was Tim
which is
Burton
not-
gothic
which is
dark.
kind of comical.
It got even more gothic than Batman Returns, but still.
Right. Batman Returns is so dark, and there was a Happy Meal that was attached to the movie.
They had toys,
They had
man,
toys, and
directed
it's
to
awful.
kids.
The movie starts off with essentially. I don't want to say this because there's kids around, but there's a mom and a dad who send their child into the sewers because they don't want him anymore. So, and there's a Happy Meal with that, so that's good.
There is, and then you had what after that you had Val Kilmer, then George Clooney, and then you come back around, and then you have Christian Bale.
Yeah.
They all been hammered for their Batmans in the beginning.
Right.
But I mean, I believe that Batfleck will.
Batfleck.
I haven't seen it, but I believe he will kill it.
You're going to enjoy it. You really
He
will.
I think you will.
Because he has to convince us that he can play Batman, okay?
Right.
Playing Bruce Wayne is easy. He has to convince us that he can play Batman. And I don't want the Christian Bale Batman. Where's the trigger? Where is it?
Right.
I don't want none of that. Give me a different take on Batman. Let me enjoy
Right.
it, please.
And if you're under the belief that Batman is really who Bruce Wayne is, and Bruce Wayne is the mask that he wears, which is kind of what I think, then you'll love it because like you see him he's a lot more comfortable when he's Batman, whereas when he's Bruce Wayne he's kind of uptight and he's almost like a robot, like he's got to read from a card or something like that. So
He's hiding a huge secret
right, exactly.
that only people in Gotham don't know because the rest of the free world knows who he is.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that all the Bat toys are huge in this movie.
Not really. I mean, you see the Batmobile, which is pretty cool, and then you see the Batwing a little bit. But other than that, there's not really not really a whole lot of toys.
You see the older style Batarangs.
Yes,
that's the fatter
true.
Batarangs.
Yeah, that is
cool.
true. That is
Those
true.
are very cool.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, there's not really a whole lot of toys, which
Not
is
really.
a shame. But
Lex Luthor is playing a role in this movie, a
Nah.
major role. Does
Jesse
Jesse do a good job in this, Rob?
I did not enjoy Jesse
I did not
Eisenberg as
enjoy it, yeah.
Lex Luthor.
If he was the Riddler, then yeah, he'd be great.
Agreed.
He'd be great.
I was going to say I don't think he's going to do a good role in that, but David's been all over me about Batman, so I'm going to quit saying things.
and I hope that you guys don't take anything we say as they're just negative Nancy's, because we genuinely went into the movie saying we were super excited for this movie.
Absolutely.
And so I don't want you guys to say like, oh well, they just hate everything, they're hipster jerks or anything. That's not at all what it is.
We consider it the opinions of nerd management. So
well,
if there's
even
a
even that's
disclaimer,
not right either.
50% of nerd management.
50%, right?
if
Exactly.
there's a disclaimer Warren needs to put out there and let me know, I don't know about it. So
I think he was going to text you, I think, today and say, I'm sorry if Alec and Rob just ruined the entire episode. So,
and not so far. Not so
well,
far.
that's good.
Good,
All
good.
right, we thank you.
Hamilton 16 IMAX is where we're doing it. JL Media with Movie Night. The very first movie we're broadcasting with, Batman versus Superman, David.
This is probably one of the most anticipated movies of the year. And you heard a lot of it. I mean, they've been pumping this movie for an entire year now. I think the first trailer debuted last year at the International Comic-Con in San Diego, and it got a standing ovation there.
Yeah.
Really?
And oh yeah. And then
Well, that's an easy crowd to play to, don't you think?
No, I don't
Really?
think so. No.
I think they're a lot more critical than than your normal moviegoers.
Right.
because they're nothing but comic book fans,
Exactly.
and movie
Right.
fans. They take that stuff to heart.
They love
you know?
it. They love it. I mean, if they're anything like me, they love it more than most family members. So it's
Most
not,
family members.
I mean, seriously,
Just
man.
caught what he said, man.
Seriously, man. Those
Wait a minute,
people.
you've not put a baby down the sewer, have you, with a Happy Meal? That's,
No, not yet.
Those
Not yet.
people-
you never
Give me
know. There's
time.
still
Yeah,
time.
Give me time.
People take International Comic Con in San Diego like it's like a religious journey, man. It's like Mecca almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's an experience, and I've never had the pleasure of going. I hope so. It's on my bucket list.
Yeah.
So what about Indie PopCon? Is that going to be as judgmental? Are you guys setting me up for something down there?
No.
That's one thing that I love about PopCon, and huge shout out to them because they're super cool guys. But PopCon is just so much more of I think a personal experience, and it's a much more family vibe to it. That's not the word I'm trying to think of, but if you're part of the PopCon family, like, you're just so close, and it's fantastic. They take care of their own, and they're they're super happy to bring in newcomers and things like that. I think you guys would be a perfect fit.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, hell, if we fit into it, then I mean, you guys will be fine.
Well, I know Comic-Con loves our Indie Drinking Dead show,
Oh yeah.
but we've not done the PopCon thing yet.
No, we haven't.
I think you should give it a shot. I think you would
Absolutely.
really enjoy it.
Yeah,
So Jesse did not do a good Lex Luthor.
no.
Okay, going back in your mind, what about, you said he would do a good Joker, Riddler.
Riddler, yeah.
Do you think Jim Carrey did a good Riddler?
I enjoyed him as the Riddler. I don't think he's the definitive Riddler.
No, I agree.
He was watchable.
He was watchable.
Yeah.
That's about all. I didn't like the movie. I mean, I'm
No,
sorry.
yeah,
I didn't.
the movie was awful.
We agree.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I didn't like the movie.
But anything with Tommy Lee Jones in it, I've got to see. That's just like a
And he
given
was
for me.
Oh man, he was.
Yeah.
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 No, Jim Carrey, I think, was fine. I think that's the best way. Yeah, he
Jim
was
Carrey
fine.
was Jim Carrey.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
They
right.
just told him action and they just let him loose.
Right, exactly. They're like, just chew as much scenery as you want to.
Exactly.
And he's like, all right, got it.
Because at that time he was coming off The Mask and Ace Ventura and
Dumb and
everything
Dumber.
else.
Yeah,
Dumb and Dumber. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
just told him just go.
Yeah.
Just go.
Yep.
Well, overacting is his thing anyway. That's what he does.
Oh, sure.
Well, what about Jesse Eisenberg is his name?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the Facebook movie. What
Sure.
What was the name of that one?
Social Network.
Thank you, The Social Network. I thought he did a great role there. He
Agreed.
was perfect for that role. I pretty much don't know anything else that he was perfect in. Like Tommy Lee Jones, I just mentioned him. Anything he does, he can fit right in that role.
Sure.
Jesse, not so much.
Yeah, and that's actually the movie that whenever someone was like, why would they cast Jesse Eisenberg? That's the movie that I always went back to. I was like, because if he plays Lex Luthor like that, as a guy who loves this little thing that he's created, but so much that he hates any sort of feedback for it. You know what I mean? Then he would be great. I think he would have been awesome. That's not how he played it, but that would have been. I think that would have been perfect if that's what they went with. I'm not a movie writer, so I don't. It's whatever. But
Well, I'm going to ask for a spoiler here, and I'm not going to do that too often. He starts the movie with hair. Does he end the movie with hair?
no.
Good. That's good enough. I think Lex Luthor does not need hair.
Agreed.
No comment, David. David has lost.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I totally agree. I kind of knew he was going to lose his hair.
Also,
Did
I was
you
going to say
see
I
that?
don't think that's a spoiler.
I've not seen a trailer or anything where he didn't have it.
There were still pictures of him without
Were
his
there?
hair.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
he actually shaved his hair. It wasn't a cap or nothing. He actually cut it off himself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you want to harken back to Gene Hackman as,
Right.
as a definitive Lex Luthor.
No, but
Or
that-
Kevin Spacey,
I was going to say, I think Spacey did a fine job as Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I believe.
Spacey is another one. Anything he's been in, I have adored him in everything.
Agreed.
But yeah, Hackman. I grew up with Hackman as Lex Luthor, man.
Oh, me too.
So that's Lex Luthor to me.
Yeah, he was a good real estate agent.
Yeah. I'm a '90s kid, so the animated series Lex Luthor is my Lex Luthor. And I can't think of his name that does the voice, but he does Krusty or Mr. Krabs and
I can't remember his name either.
Big guy, big hulking guy with a really deep voice. He's my favorite Lex Luthor.
Okay.
But, I mean, you guys can tell me to shut up because it's just a cartoon.
No, I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
David enjoys the animated series as well.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah, see, recently I told you guys before we came on the air, I introduced Johnny to the Dark Knight Returns animated movie that was released from Warner Brothers Animation a couple years ago, I believe. A couple years ago.
Yeah, how'd you think about that?
Yeah, how do you like that, Johnny?
It was very interesting. It was an animated series. I'm not a big fan. I guess I just don't really watch them that often. I got into it, and I watched them both back to back. I followed the story and was able to go with it, but you know what? I guess it left something lacking for me because everybody was kind of the same big hulking size, and there wasn't a lot of I don't know.
I could see that.
I don't know.
It's and that's the
You
thing.
didn't like it.
That's the thing with.
I didn't want to come out and just say I didn't like it, man.
Yeah, that's
Okay, I'll say exactly what. To me, it's a cartoon, and I'm not into the cartoons.
He didn't
and
like a
anime
Superman
stuff,
got his
man.
ass whooped.
Right.
Just put it like that.
I don't think I saw that part. I mean,
Let's just put it like that.
yeah, I saw Batman getting his butt whooped by several people. But
He's also a 70-year-old man.
Exactly.
So,
Right.
that's
mean,
their justification.
At that time, Bruce Wayne was getting AARP, man.
All right,
You
well,
gotta-
Batman is 70 years old in this movie. Is that what you're telling me?
Not in this movie, no.
he's about, what, 40?
Yeah, 40.
Yeah. I'd say 40, 45, something like that.
So how many more Batman movies does that give us? If we follow that thinking.
Well, Batman movies itself.
Are we? That's the question.
Right.
That's the question of the day. Are we going to get any solo Batman movies?
I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I know that there's one in the works with Ben Affleck directing and writing and starring, obviously, that I'm actually super excited for. But I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's the only, or if that's the only solo Batman movie we get. I think, if you want my personal opinion, I think we've had enough of Batman movies for a little while. I think after that they should probably stop
agree.
for a little while.
If they do come out with one, I know they're coming out with an animated movie of The Killing Joke.
Mm-hmm.
I would either like to see that story on the big screen or Death in the Family.
Oh, absolutely.
And then I'm satisfied.
Yeah,
Because
you've seen the trailers though. For
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So clearly, that's happened.
Yeah.
Because that you see the Robin suit,
Right.
that's Jason Todd's Robin suit.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the staff, which but anyway, so I definitely think that's a possibility. Absolutely, especially after this, people who kids are going to see it and they're going to say, well, why is Robin's suit there? So I mean, they could absolutely do that. Killing Joke, that's going to be a little tough. I think.
You think so?
I think the animated part, especially that it's going to be rated R, I think that's going to be the perfect way for it. I don't know. I mean, because this movie's awfully dark, but it's not a Killing Joke dark, so I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, let's segue into this. They just announced a few weeks ago that the Blu-ray version of Batman v Superman will be rated R.
You're absolutely right. And I will say, after seeing this, it's not... It's about as PG-13 as you can get before you actually go into rated R.
Okay. Now, it's not going to be Deadpool rated R, is it?
No, like there's not that much cursing or anything like it. It's there are a little bit of curse words, but it's mostly violence. I mean, that's what it is.
Oh,
but
it's only violence, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys Deadpool fans? You enjoy the movie?
I enjoyed the movie.
I have not seen the movie, and I am not a Deadpool fan.
Yeah, I'm not a Deadpool fan, but I did enjoy the movie.
I have yet to see it. I want to see it. Maybe I will see it soon.
Okay, I'm with Rob. I'm not a Deadpool fan. I didn't see the movie, but I'm kind of with David too. I'd like to see it.
I would like to see it as well. Yeah,
I will
not all parts of it because I saw some stills from it that kind of scared me as a confident heterosexual.
Well, see, Deadpool, just like Ant-Man, was a surprise hit. They didn't expect that movie to do as well as it did.
I didn't see Ant-Man either.
Fox rolled the dice. Okay, fine, make a Deadpool movie. All right,
Sure.
great. Whatever. They did not expect this to happen
No.
at all.
It's huge, and I mean it's huge.
Well,
Yeah, it's
when we were at Comic-Con last year with Indy Drinking Dead, there were a couple of Deadpool characters walking around there.
there was a lot
yeah.
of Deadpool.
so many Deadpools at conventions. Oh my gosh!
Yeah, if you go to a lot of conventions,
Deadpool and Harley Quinn.
Deadpool, Harley Quinn, and then a lot of Heath Ledger Jokers are your top three. So.
Well, I'm certain they knew the movie was coming out, but and I got to be honest with you, David, I had no idea who Deadpool was.
You didn't?
They had to explain it to me when I was at Comic-Con. Yeah.
Did you see X-Men Origins? Wolverine?
Yeah.
He was in that.
It wasn't a good version.
It was a horrible version.
It was a botched version.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's where I
horrible
missed
version.
it. Maybe that's where I missed it.
He's the one that had his mouth shut and had the swords out of his arms.
and he could teleport,
And he could teleport,
which made no sense.
Whatever.
Okay.
You see, Marvel gets me. I mean, how are you going to go from a guy playing Deadpool to the same guy playing Green Lantern going back to Deadpool? That kind of confuses
It's
me.
comic
Yeah.
books, man. They do whatever they want to
know?
do.
So you've got a Daredevil starring as Batman right now.
Uh-huh.
Oh hell, you had a Human Torch now playing Captain America.
That's right.
That's true. I completely forgot.
It's like once you're in the club,
Right, exactly.
you're in there forever.
I know, just punch your ticket, man.
That's an oh yeah moment for me right there, bro.
It's so confusing. I was like, huh? It took me a while to really differentiate Chris Evans from Human Torch to Captain America.
He's great. He's great.
Oh yeah, he's a great Captain America.
I never made the connection, so I mean, now I'll be trouble now.
Exactly.
Well, the Fantastic Four movies, they're better left.
They're horrible.
Yeah,
I'm
they're
sorry.
better left in the past,
There's no
but-
mixing words on that. They're awful. I'll say it.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
that guy. Remember?
Yeah, that's fine.
They're awful.
I fully support you.
Is there another one coming up?
I hope not.
Oh man,
After how badly the last one did, I hope not. I sincerely hope not.
Oh god, that was just painful.
Well,
That
we've
was-
got some good premieres coming here. Now we've got Captain America: Civil War in May. right?
That's going to be huge.
Maybe Nerdman's will be back for that.
who knows?
That's going to be huge. I mean, we got Jungle Book next month.
That looks so good.
Captain America.
I was surprised that Jungle Book was the blockbuster that it's turned out to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks good, and that was, of course, one of the cartoons that my daughter grew up with.
Well,
so
that's
of course I was watching it with her.
Well, that's what Disney is going with now. All the animated classics they're turning into actual full-length feature films.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they've done it with Sleeping Beauty, with Maleficent, Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella most recently. If you want to venture off 20 years ago, they did it with 101 Dalmatians.
Mm-hmm.
And but I've seen pretty much all of them recently, and they are really, really good.
Now the new Jungle Book is live action, correct?
Live action.
Yeah.
So the animals are not going to talk, or are they going to?
Oh no,
gonna
they
talk.
are. They are.
They're going to
with
talk.
CGI, of
and they're going
course.
to
Yeah.
sing. which is
They're
that's
not
why.
going to dance, though, right?
I don't know.
I mean, you got Bill
can only
Murray, you got Ben Kingsley,
Tell me.
Christopher Walken, Scarlett Johansson, Idris Elba. You got stars playing these characters, and
Right.
and of course it's directed by Jon Favreau, who directed the first 2 Iron Man movies. And it's going to be a hit. I'm really looking forward to that movie.
Yeah, my chips are down on that. I'm so.
Yeah, just
I'm
take
so
my
sold
money
on that.
right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you tell me. You know, it's
You
gonna
tell
be
me.
Really good.
Just win.
Right,
That's
right,
all I need to
right.
know. Win.
But Civil War.
Ash.
Let's talk Civil War, and of course we're going to be torchless. Human Torch is going to be Captain America.
Captain America.
What's the storyline here?
So if you're going by the comics, which I don't know how close one this is, it's actually one of the reasons why I'm excited for it is that they're playing much of the story pretty close to the vest. But in the comics, there's this registration act that's brought up where it's essentially it's a way for the government to keep the superheroes in check. You know,
Right.
there's this really catastrophic event at the beginning of it that kills thousands of people. And it kind of brings about, this registration act where the government wants you to register as a superhero your secret identity and all. So people know who you are, they know what you do, and they know what you stand for. And so one team, the Captain America team, I actually can't remember, but one team is for it and one team is against it.
Yeah.
In this
Government
movie,
registration.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's a different show. I won't get into that. But it does talk about that on a different show.
And in the movie, what it sounds like is it's going to be similar in that they're trying to keep the Avengers in check because this is now 3 or 4. I mean, really, at the end of every Avenger member movie, I mean, there's an entire city's destroyed. So the government's trying to keep the Avengers in check, and I don't know if they'll bring up a registration act where they have to do that, or if they're just going to say, either you work for the government or else you'll be imprisoned or something like that.
Right.
I'm not really sure.
And that was one of the big issues that the anti-registration side has is it would almost be like they're conscripted into
Sure.
the government.
Right,
So
right.
basically, if the government said, well, we need you for the sake of the United States to go do this, they would be
They'd have
forced to do
it.
that.
Right, exactly.
So that was a big argument on the Tony Stark side.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, everybody has been going crazy with the trailers, the very end of it, when they show a new character.
Sure.
Spider-Man.
Why
last 10
is that?
seconds.
This is the very first movie that you will see Spider-Man with the Marvel family back home, if you will. The deal with that is that the Spider-Man franchise is owned by Fox.
Right.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Sony
Yeah.
Pictures, and of course Marvel is owned by Disney. So they're not allowed to use to integrate those characters since they're owned by 2 different movie companies. Now the last few Spider-Man movies has sucked. I'm not gonna lie, it was horrible.
Agreed.
So since Sony was losing so much money on it, they just like, hey, let's just get with Marvel, try to work out something. Maybe they can help us out with this trouble we're having with Spider-Man, because Spider-Man is like the Superman of Marvel comics. It's their figurehead.
Yep.
And so this is going to be the first time that you will ever see Spider-Man in a Marvel movie.
Right.
I mean, we've seen him in his own movies before. This is the first time you're going to see him in his rightful place with the Avengers, because in the comic books, he's a part of the Avengers.
Gotcha. So, what do we think of the new Spider-Man? The amazing
The suit looks
Spider-Man.
great.
Yeah, suit looks fantastic.
The suit looks great.
Yeah.
Just that they are coming about it the completely correct way. They're casting young. The person who's Tom Holland, I think he's like 21, but he
Thank
can.
you so much, because I'm having trouble with the names over here.
The
I didn't
guy,
write any of them down.
the
No,
guy
no
looks and
problem.
sounds
No
like he's
problem.
12.
Right, exactly.
He looks like he just hit puberty.
Right,
But
and
it works for Spider-Man. It's
absolutely.
perfect.
I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. He's supposed to be, sophomore in high school. Like he's supposed to be, 16 years old. So I think that looks really great. I think that the whole thing that they're doing a deal with, because he's still partially, he's still owned by Sony.
Yeah, he's still
but,
owned by Sony.
Right, but Marvel's, saying, hey, we'll get, you're not making any money off of these Amazing Spider-Man movies because they're garbage. Bring them over here. Avengers 1 made something billion. So clearly there's enough money to go around for you to get a little bit of piece and us to get a piece. So and Civil War is going to be huge. It's
going to be monumental.
It's going to be huge. And so I think it was dumb for Sony to not do it. And so I think it just going forward with this, it's the perfect way that they can do it. And then the Spider-Man movies after this are going to be similar. You know, Marvel and Sony are going to be working together.
Yeah.
So you'll actually get a decent Spider-Man movie other than Spider-Man 1 and 2. So
Right.
excuse me.
A decent. I like that.
I'm telling you, the last few Spider-Man movies suck.
They're not
man.
good. They're not
Yeah,
good.
not great.
They were horrible.
The suit looks great, but that's about it. That's about
all.
it. Yeah.
That's about it. Hamilton 16 IMAX, part of the Goodrich Quality Theater family. Right here in Hamilton Town Square is where we're doing this. Batman versus Superman tonight. Very excited, guys. Very excited.
My soul is literally ready for this film.
Your soul?
I hope
My
you guys
soul.
enjoy it.
I really do hope, you like it.
Yeah, I really do.
And let's not, Suicide Squad is coming out in August, and Batman is in that one for a little cameo.
I was sitting here trying to look up the dates to see when that was coming up.
It's coming out in August. I don't know the exact date, but it's in August.
I can't wait.
And I cannot wait for that one.
Cannot wait.
I think
Totally agree.
Yeah, that's the next DC.
August 5th.
August 5th.
Okay.
And it's got everybody, and everybody's anticipating how Jared Leto is going to play Joker. Oh, we was talking about that before we came on air.
I think he's going to be fine.
I think he's going to be great. Yeah.
I think, and you see this with a lot of comic book characters, I think people look way too much into it. I think they judge way too early on whether an actor or an actress is going to be good at a certain character. And
Yes,
it
we
seems
do.
like
Yes, we do.
it seems like more times than not they're wrong.
Right.
Especially like Heath Ledger is probably the best example of
Yes,
an actor that nobody wanted to see Heath Ledger as the Joker, and now when you think of the Joker, you think of Heath Ledger. So
Right. Exactly.
I think he's going to do a good job. I mean, I like Jared Leto. I think he's a great actor, and I think it'll be fine.
Yep. And I was talking to you earlier, but I think we were one of the only people that were actually fine with the tattoos and the grill and stuff like that. And I think there's fan theories out, about who the Joker actually is in this movie, and if those are true, that's even better. That's just icing on the cake. But I'm actually fine with how he looks. Like that's it because it fits what the character's doing right now. So I'm okay with that.
Definitely, me too. I really am anticipating Jared Leto, and to a lesser degree, Harley Quinn,
Right.
Margaret what's her name?
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. I'm
Yeah.
anticipating to see. I just want to see how these actors and actresses partake in the comic book movies. I mean, we've heard so much about. I mean, particularly Suicide Squad with Will Smith and Viola Davis and Jared Leto. We've heard so many stories about them, and of course, I was telling you guys earlier about David Ayer, who is the writer and director of this movie. He previously directed Fury and Sabotage, and I think he wrote Training Day also. And Third Watch.
Yeah.
He did Third
End
Watch.
of Watch.
End of Watch. Yeah. And did he?
Those are dark.
Yes.
Did he write Training Day?
I can find out right now.
I believe he did, if I'm not mistaken. But he sold me on Sabotage because I was like, I have not ever seen Schwarzenegger in a better movie since Terminator 2.
And it's so cool you guys can remember everybody's name.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a guy that played in this, and he was the guy that did this.
Well, that's why
kinda
you
thing.
have us here, Johnny.
That's
That's
what it
right.
is.
And he did write Training Day.
Yeah, there it is.
So there you go.
Movie night with JL Media is brand new here at Hamilton 16 IMAX. Batman versus Superman tonight. I'm going to give a little rundown of the rest of the year for you guys.
Let's go.
March 25th, we have The Jungle Book. I'm sorry, April 15th.
Yeah,
I think today's
here.
March 25th.
I can't read my own writing. April 15th, we have The Jungle Book right here at Hamilton 16. May the 6th, Captain America, Civil War.
Yep.
Back again, May 27th for X-Men Apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was looking for.
Let's.
So we've got two instead in May, and we're skipping June because we have two in May. July,
Independence Day.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh yeah,
Independence Day Resurgence.
That's the one.
it's bigger than the first one. That's great.
Yeah. And then August is Suicide
August
Squad.
5th is Suicide Squad.
Right.
September, we are to be determined on the 23rd. They believe it's going to be Magnificent 7.
Okay.
Not sure about that.
Oh, really?
Same thing with October. We may be looking at Doctor Strange.
Ah.
Is what we may be talking about here.
Yes, yes, yes.
November, the 18th, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
The Harry Potter prequels.
That should be really good.
That's going to be an interesting crowd here in the lobby.
Yeah.
December 16th. Can
Rogue
anybody
One.
guess what this
Rogue
is?
One.
Rogue One.
Star Wars. It's going to be very interesting.
Oh, I'm so
I'm
good.
excited.
This is going to
about
be
it.
a huge, huge year for movies. I mean, huge year for movies. I think Star Wars: The Force Awakens really set the standard. It was really the jumping off point. After that, you had Deadpool. After Deadpool, you got this. After this, you got Jungle Book and so forth and so on. This is going to be huge.
Yep. And one of the things that I liked so much about Star Wars, other than that it was magnificent, it was fantastic.
Oh, beautiful movie.
It shows that the summer is not always when you have to release these huge movies.
Yeah.
You can still make an insane amount of money by coming out at Christmas time. I mean,
late November, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Titanic or Avatar. They came out around the Christmas season.
Yeah.
And now they are the two highest grossing movies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which I don't understand. I mean, Avatar, I get it.
Damn,
Fine.
James Cameron.
Seriously. Avatar, I get it. Like, it's a beautiful movie. Titanic, I genuinely don't get why it's so...
I tell you this. I'm the opposite.
Okay.
I didn't get how Avatar became the highest grossing movie of all time. I get how Titanic, because you had all these females, and I was a senior in high school at that time, okay? And all I heard about was, oh my God, Jack, Leo, oh God, he's so dreamy, blah, 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 blah. And that damn Celine Dion song, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
She made some money with that now.
Oh, my
dude.
God. She's still living off that song today. I mean, that...
Yeah, you didn't hear a whole lot of women saying, oh, the Na'vi of Avatar is so hot. They're so dreamy.
Yeah, exactly. You never heard that.
You didn't, no.
But you always heard about Leonardo DiCaprio, you know?
Avatar was a good movie. I mean, it was what it was.
Avatar
it
was a
very
good
well
movie.
done.
I don't think it was $3 billion worth of a good movie.
I agree with
I
that.
saw it twice, and
And-
second time I didn't pay for it. So if that tells you-
There you go.
There you go.
I didn't like it too much. I mean,
I'm not a big James Cameron guy, other than Terminator 2, because Terminator 2 is great. But I don't get it. I don't get it either way.
I actually loved
That's right.
Titanic. I actually loved Titanic if it wasn't for all the mushy love story stuff. I mean, I think it was a...
Yeah.
well, yeah. I mean, we all know what happened to the boat. It sank.
Spoiler alert. The
Spoiler
boat
alert.
sinks.
Spoilers. Almost
Alert
100 years ago.
For a 100-year-old story.
I don't want to spoil this movie for you guys, though, but Leo dies.
Right,
okay?
right.
Well, I did see it a couple times, and I've actually stopped it and showed a friend of mine. There was room for Jack on that float. He could have been all right.
absolutely. Rose is selfish. She
killed him. She's a murderer.
she straight up killed him.
She killed him.
I remember I saw it with
Kind
my
of harsh.
She did.
She did.
She had room on that door. I think it was a door.
She's very irresponsible.
She is.
Right. She may not have held his head under the water, but she sure didn't help him out to save his life.
It's just a typical woman, selfish. I don't understand it. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to say anything at all.
I'm gonna say it.
If there's
I
one
said it. It needed to be said, and I said it. She was selfish.
Till she gets here. You won't be saying that when she gets...
No, I'm not gonna say that when she gets here. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
I was going to say, you better be careful. He's within karate chopping distance over there.
No.
Hamilton 16, IMAX is where we are. Hamilton Town Center in lovely Noblesville. I believe most of Noblesville is here this evening.
It sure seems like it.
They come from all over, without a doubt. I know several people who come from downtown to come just to this theater.
I can see why.
Yeah, this is. I'm gonna say again. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
This is just fabulous. I've never seen an IMAX or a 3D movie before, so this will be my
Really?
first. Yeah, this will be my first.
Wow.
Okay.
This will be I'm actually going to the 3D version. I'm not going to see it in IMAX.
Okay.
But
You'll have to let us know, because we didn't see it in 3D, so you'll have to let us know
You
how
saw
it
it in
looks
standard?
in 3D. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Because Warner's a baby and can't see anything in 3D because he's got grandma eyes. But
Grandma eyes.
yeah, so I don't know if you guys know this, but Warner is a 75-year-old woman. I don't know if you guys knew this, but
so if you give her a Snickers, she'll turn
right,
into
exactly.
a...
You just give him
Exactly.
hard
Okay.
candy, and he's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I got you.
It's time to
Or
take the
Withers
stage against the Snickers, right?
He has to have his house at 75 degrees at all times, and that whole thing. So
Goes to bed after Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy. Yeah.
watches just stories during
Watches
the wars,
his stories.
Warner, you see, it's all them, buddy. It's not me. I'm not saying all these things about you, brother.
Warner, I don't even know you,
Right.
man. And
I'll
I'm not,
say,
you know,
I'll
so
say
it's
it to
not
his
me.
face. I don't even care. I'll say
Yep.
it to his face.
Stephen did say that this was the second largest IMAX screen in the state, beaten out only by the museum downtown in
By a little
Indianapolis.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have definitely put a lot into it. There's been a few changes since I used to come up here a lot, namely the bar over here under the stairs
Oh, you can't go wrong with a bar
that
inside
has
of a
been
movie
extremely
theater, man.
popular this evening. It's
Yeah.
good looking too.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I need to check out upstairs here. I'm
yeah.
looking at the mezzanine up there. I need to
yes.
check that place out up
It's
there.
extremely comfortable. The Wi-Fi is wonderful up there as well. I just wanted to be closer to the front door here in the lobby where people could see us.
And the people here are very, very nice. I mean, if you ever come up here, you'll know what we're talking about. They're always helpful, and they're always around for,
Oh, yes. If you look for somebody to help you out, you've only got to look about 10 feet because
Exactly.
they are definitely
Exactly.
here.
This is a great place.
I was just
I'm happy to be here, really.
I was just told there is a lull right now here in the lobby. We're about to get a mass rush of people coming out of theaters. It's going to be interesting to find out what they're saying as they pass by.
Yeah, I want to see the expression on their faces.
Definitely.
It looks like they're having a team meeting over there, the employees getting ready for it.
Like I said, we didn't want to be the first people that said they didn't like it. So maybe one of the people who come out might break that mold.
Well, I had some friends that came through earlier, and they said they didn't want to spoil anything for me, but they looked pretty happy.
Good. And that's good.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to see it.
That's one thing that we've kind of vowed as we were reviewing it is like people are going to have their own opinions. Like I was saying earlier, form your own opinion and don't if you do like it, don't feel bad. If you don't like it, don't feel bad. Like you can still love these characters no matter how you feel about the movie. So I mean, if you go into it and you come out and say, "Oh, I love this character even more," or "I hate this character now because of this movie," I don't think you're going into it seeing it for the right reason.
Right.
Well, it's not just the movie. I mean, we are at Hamilton 16 IMAX.
Right.
I mean, what they do not serve up there, I do not know. Look, we got nachos, we got pretzels, hot dogs, pizza.
The classic pop. They got chicken tenders, which I had
Yeah,
earlier,
tenders.
which,
Oh my
which is
God.
delicious.
How were they?
They were good.
Did
They
you
were
find
real-
your sauce?
Yeah, they
Okay.
had honey mustard, man.
Oh.
That's all I need. That's all I need in my life is honey mustard and chicken tenders,
Oh, I
man.
love
I'm
honey
good to
mustard.
go. Love it, love it.
So good.
But
Thank-
if you're going to see this movie, kids, I mean, come up here to Hamilton 16 IMAX here in Noblesville, Indiana. This is the place to see it because, I mean, they actually shot it, I think, in IMAX cameras. So if you're
Yeah.
going to see it, hey, see it here. There's
Yeah.
no other place in the city.
Did you see the Batman versus Superman banner over here?
I
Yeah.
saw it. I actually took a picture of it earlier.
That is absolutely huge. Now look at Batman, how he's looking. He's a little scared, isn't he?
No,
No.
He looks a little scared.
No.
to me.
No, he's not.
no,
Very angry,
No,
no.
he's not.
disgruntled.
Oh,
But I mean, Superman doesn't look too happy either.
You see-
Team Boy Scout here, man.
You see, let me describe this for the people who's listening. We have a banner up top here, and you see Batman staring at Superman with the Batman logo and Superman logo in the background. Now,
those mesh pretty well, don't they?
they do. But right now, you see Superman, Clark Kent, staring at Batman, wanting to talk things out. And
Right.
Batman's giving this death stare, like, dude, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I mean, that
Superman didn't want to kill anybody, man.
Except he did.
yeah, he did.
Yep.
He did. That. Mic drop.
Zod doesn't count.
Mic drop.
No, you're right. Just the hundreds of thousands of people in Metropolis.
Yeah,
count.
yeah, yeah.
I
He
guess
kind
you're
of
right,
destroyed the
Lots
city
and
there.
lots and lots of innocent lives.
Yeah,
Wh-
lots.
Which is what torqued Batman off to begin with, right? Or Bruce
Yeah,
Wayne off
sure.
to begin with.
Yeah, that's where the story begins.
Is that where it begins? Is that how it
So
starts?
so
or-
the movie begins 18 months after it. So
See, that's not
it's
weird,
still
man.
very, very much it's still very much a big part of the story. I mean, it's the main plot point of the story, which I like that they addressed it. Let's see, we're getting real close to stuff that I know you guys don't want me to say and talk about, but it's a huge plot point of the story. They definitely haven't forgotten.
That's where everybody's beef with Man of Steel was. Is like, how could he destroy the city, kill all those people, blah 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 blah.
Right.
I liked how they addressed, or they're going to address it in Batman v Superman.
Are they going to give us numbers of how many actually perished in his battle with Zod?
One of the news report, I think they're at one point they're watching
Spoilers.
a news report and it throws out a number.
Yeah, spoilers. There's news reporters.
Spoilers.
Yes, news reporters and people.
Is it a number more than you would think it would be?
I would say yes. I'm pretty sure that when I heard the number, I was rather surprised at how many people.
But I mean, they leveled an entire city, and then on the other side of the globe. Now, granted, the other side of the globe wasn't exactly Superman's fault, but that's a huge thing.
This was not by choice of Superman. I mean, he didn't go out and say, "Okay, I'm going to destroy half the city today."
Sure, no.
He was defending himself, and he was trying to protect Metropolis.
Right.
No?
But see...
Alec is walking a thin line here, trying not to give any spoilers.
really
because
is.
Right, exactly. Because that's also addressed in one of the big reasons that Batman kind of let me down in this movie. And again, I won't go in unless you guys tell me to. I'm not going to delve into it.
I just love hearing you say that.
Right.
I think we can give away a little bit. Spoilers are going to be all over the internet anyway.
So,
which is where we are.
No, I'll respect you guys. I like you guys. I'm going to respect you. But no, so I don't even remember the question. But yeah, so you're right. He didn't knowingly kill 100,000 people. I completely understand. What he did knowingly do, though, is fight Zod in the middle of a city, the biggest city in the country, and he did knowingly snap Zod's neck in front of a lot of people. So, if you're looking at the comic, Superman, it doesn't matter what kind of odds he's in, he's going to remove that part of the situation away from people. People come before anything else. Again, I may not have the most popular opinion, and that's fine. I'm used to it. So
I'm used to it.
Right.
He's on the show with Warner.
Exactly. Exactly. And Warner's the complete opposite. He's very like, oh, everything's perfect, everything's awesome. So I love him very much. He's like a brother. But, so yeah, going back to it, he didn't knowingly do it, but he didn't take precautions to remove the situation, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I saw the movie. I'm not sure how he could have.
You could have taken him into space, or you could have taken him to someplace that wasn't the biggest city in the world.
Well, he couldn't. It wasn't in the script. So
It wasn't in the script. They didn't write it in there.
Fair point.
We all know that Bruce Wayne has Wayne Enterprises in Gotham City.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
How do we have like a franchise in? How did we mesh here, brother?
He has business in Metropolis, right?
Sort of. So Metropolis and Gotham City in this universe are basically they're twin cities. So there's just
They're like New York and Jersey.
exactly
Mm-hmm.
right, exactly. I can't think of a
Well,
better
that's
thing.
new.
But, right. It's brand new. Yeah. So the main Wayne Tower is in Metropolis. So everything that happens in Metropolis obviously affects him because that's and just because he's a decent guy, he doesn't want to see a city get leveled. That's kind of what brings him into Metropolis as well.
I don't know, man.
You're not feeling it?
I'm still Team Superman, man.
And that's fine. That is absolutely fine.
I don't know. Mandy was Team Superman too, from what I believe.
Mandy's Batman all the way, man. It's because of Ben Affleck. She's had this crush on Affleck since Armageddon. She told me this story that she had his picture or his poster on her wall.
Why don't we get Mandy to say it? Mandy's over here looking all
Tell us a story of Batfleck here, Mandy, please.
Batfleck?
Please.
Batman.
Most
My
people
handsome
know
man.
that Mandy Curie is a marketing director for
who-
JL Media, so she.
If you had to choose, who would it be? Daryl. I'm sorry, Johnny. Who would you choose?
He
Daryl
just
from The
couldn't wait to
Walking
get
Dead.
that question
Yeah, I
out of
couldn't
him.
because it just popped in
just
my head. I
wanted
need to know. Daryl from The Walking Dead or Ben Affleck? Armageddon. Ben Affleck.
Oh, that's tough.
See.
He's got a little age on him since then.
Now, how about this? Every time that you think about Ben Affleck, the song "Don't Want to Close Your Eyes" is playing in the background from Aerosmith.
I think it's playing the background
Yeah.
when she's with her fiance.
Shh.
Yeah, see, she's getting married pretty soon. Is that going to be your wedding song?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Can I sing it at your wedding?
You go right ahead. We got lots of other people singing. You just go ahead and grab the mic. And
I'm going
do
to grab the mic and I'm going to jam.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can be there. You were periscoping earlier, Mandy.
I was. We
How
had
did
several
those come out?
periscopes.
I hadn't had the chance to take a look at them.
We did great. We had lots of people that were tuning in all over the place, and people have been tuning on because it went on Facebook, and they've been listening. So we've had lots of people talking to us.
We've had our numbers jumped up high, and then the lobby will fill up, and my bandwidth will go low. So we'll have to lose. I'm sure some of them are getting kicked off, but our numbers are all over the place tonight. But they are up once again.
That's awesome.
There you go. I'll take that.
So what do you think of Hamilton 16 IMAX, Mandy?
This theater is beautiful.
I know you're from Mooresville, right?
Yes, I am from Mooresville, and it's definitely worth the drive to come up here. And I had actually been here before with some friends of mine because I used to live up here a few years ago, and then moved down to nowhere land.
The other side of town.
Yeah,
Literally.
opposite side of town. But this is great. The staff is great. It's clean. Everybody's so friendly. Great place to be.
That's the key word to this place, clean.
It is.
There's not a lot of movie theaters that are clean.
No.
Why don't I
It's
just
not. You expect to see popcorn on the floor, and
Yeah.
they're like literally as we're talking right now, there are people walking by with brooms, and they're ready to clean up all the popcorn off the floor. It's
This is
pretty
awesome.
awesome.
Goodrich definitely has some good people working for him here.
Yes, they do.
We did get Mitch out to speak with us a little bit before the show, but he has been too busy to come out now. We did speak with Steven, though.
Mm-hmm.
You knew that.
Great guy. He's been taking care of us all night. Whatever we needed, they've made sure that we've had everything we needed. So
You know what I love about modern day theaters, I guess? Security can get pretty bad in some places. And there is a security guy here, and he looks pretty bored. I mean,
Yeah.
that's good.
He's
That is a
exactly.
good thing.
I'd
That's a
rather
good
him be
problem
bored.
to have.
Don't get me wrong. He is definitely doing his thing, but he ain't got a whole lot to do up here. Just watch these people. It's a very friendly environment.
Just a couple of nerds talking about a movie. I mean, that's, like it's-
He was kind of watching David out of the corner of his eye, but the rest of us are okay.
Is that a black thing, Johnny?
say.
I mean, seriously?
You're the
I
only
know.
one
I
I've got on
saw.
the show
Did you
tonight,
see?
man.
David's had a few fans this evening. He had a lady up at the counter that was waving at him and
I don't-
Erratically
Winking.
too, wasn't
I don't know
yeah,
who she was.
she
I don't- I
yeah,
got
she
no
really
idea.
had a thing for David.
She was waving very excitedly. I thought she was being kidnapped, trying to get some help over there or something. at first.
It's the tattoos.
Did you
It
know
get-
her, or did she just?
I
think
have
she
no
knew?
idea who she was.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't.
Would you like to know her?
He did. He motioned her.
Okay.
He was like, "Come over
I think she was
here."
with her boyfriend, though.
Oh, that's a little weird.
She didn't
Yeah.
seem worried about that.
I mean,
Yeah,
maybe
she-
that's I don't
I don't want to cause any problems. We do have a cop in the area.
You tell me. I mean, it is 2016. Maybe they're into that.
Hey, well, okay.
Hamilton 16 IMAX, right here at Hamilton Town Center. Yeah, I moved away from that pretty quick.
I could have took it and ran with it, but I was no. It's
I
not the
know
time
you.
or place.
I
Not the
know
time or
you, my
place.
brother. Noblesville, Indiana is where we're doing it. Movie night with JL Media. Batman versus Superman is our very first one. The inaugural show, Mandy.
This is exciting.
This is very exciting.
It's very exciting. Our printer came through for us, and we have some new wonderful banners, and we have our very own movie poster, and
We have stickers to
We
hand
do.
out to anybody that stops
your
by.
son loves them too, by the way.
I know. He's got like two in each hand
They
and
were
one
like
on his shirt.
stuck all over his face and in his hair, and you can have fun with
It's
that.
not
later.
that bad.
That's great. That's great.
All right, tell me more about nerd management, brother, before we get back into Batman versus Superman.
Sure. So, if you listened to the Brother Beercast episode that we were on, you kind of got a little bit of a background of us. But it was started by Warner and I in 2013. And like I said earlier, we talk about anything from comics to movies to TV, wrestling, which is kind of a new the new subject that we talked about. video games, and
I'm
then
all for that one.
Yeah. Are you a big wrestling fan?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Good. You should be.
Ever since I was 5.
Good. Do you watch any of the current stuff?
Yes,
What
I'm up to
it's-
date. I'm
okay.
up to date.
Okay. Who's your?
I'm not.
Sorry, I mean, we don't have to.
Here we
but
go. Here we go. Here we go.
Who's your favorite current wrestler?
Whew. He would have to be in NXT, and his name is Finn Balor.
Yep.
Good pick.
Yep. Good pick. Solid
Good pick.
He'll be in the main roster soon. But
Hopefully.
yeah.
Right after WrestleMania,
Yep.
I'm hoping for it. Crossing my fingers.
Me too.
Monday, if you want my prediction, Johnny, I'm sorry, but if you want my prediction, Monday after Raw, you'll see Balor, Carl Anderson, and
Bullet Club.
And Bullet Club, all of them.
Okay.
But anyway,
Well, I tell you where I am with wrestling. I had to be careful a while ago when I was saying Lex Luthor. I almost said Luger. So
Lex Luger. Yeah, you don't want to say that. Don't want to say that.
He's back in old NWA 1988.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Now, he's
yeah.
doing the Christian circuit now. Him and Nikita Koloff
Yeah.
are going around giving speeches and still flexing their muscles, I believe.
Well,
I don't know if he's that built anymore, though.
Lex
I think
is not
he's-
that built.
Yeah, I was going to
anymore.
say he's.
No, he had some issues, health issues.
Well,
you know,
it's
that's
got
one
to have
thing.
dropped fast then.
Yeah,
He
he
probably looks like me.
You wouldn't recognize him.
God
No.
bless him.
After the.
I think he had stroke and drug issues. Or
Well,
something like that.
and.
Jail.
Well, he did have drug issues that led to the death of Miss Elizabeth. So I think after that, they kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
You lose your marketing value when someone dies.
I'd have to agree.
Yeah, definitely. Not good for the action figure
No.
market, that's for sure.
So we will get away from that and back to Batman versus Superman. Very quickly. I don't want Goodrich mad at me. We have two gentlemen on the show, Mandy, who've already seen the movie, so they can tease us a little bit about what we're going to see.
If you're a DC fanboy or you like DC Comics, there's a lot there for you. Like you kind of said earlier that there's a lot of Easter eggs and things like that.
Right.
There's absolutely a lot of Easter eggs for you. If you're going into it...
More as like a purist.
Right, exactly.
It's
You may not enjoy it as much as everybody else, which is kind of what my problem was, I think.
Okay.
But no, I mean, it is exactly what the movie says it is. It is Batman versus Superman. I mean, that's what it is. I will say that I think Ben Affleck looks amazing as Batman.
oh yeah.
He acts.
Mandy likes that.
Mandy
and
might have
Affleck
a
looks
new.
amazing all the time.
She might have a new poster on her
He is
wall.
I might.
He is a very good-looking man. In this movie, he's got a little bit of the Silver Fox going on. He's
He's dreamy.
He's very
He's a
dreamy.
dreamboat.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
bulked up for this.
Oh,
part.
absolutely.
Yes, he
Yeah,
has.
there's like a 5-minute long working out montage, and even it even gave me
Did
the
he
vapors.
throw it back to
I
the
was-
Rocky montage? Is
Oh,
that-
absolutely.
Oh my God.
With chains.
I'm looking forward to this movie now.
With chains and everything.
Oh man, he does Rocky.
Oh, my
Oh yeah,
gosh.
dude.
Oh.
He grabs like a sledgehammer and hits a big tire, like a
Right,
big
right. Yeah,
big
yeah.
tire, shirt off, just meh.
There
And
you
I
go,
mean,
man.
like I said,
Awesome.
There you go.
I'm looking forward to it.
It has something for everybody.
That's right. It absolutely does. And even if you're a Henry Cavill fan, there's plenty of scenes with him with his shirt off, so that's fine.
Sure.
Don't know what we were talking about.
Ben Affleck's what I heard.
Right.
That's all she.
Yeah.
I started playing on Facebook on my phone. I lost interest in what you were saying. I don't know
I know
what's
you're
going
talking
on.
about guys with their shirt
They
off.
were
that-
making me
Johnny
happy.
was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
exactly.
well, okay.
We were appealing to everybody, right? That's it. But no, and from what I can tell so far is you're going to be split one way or the other. You're going to absolutely love it, or you're not going to like it at all. And like I said, get your own opinion. Form your own opinion on it.
Okay. All right. For my own opinion. I guess I was hoping for more teasers and spoilers, but he didn't want to go that route.
Like I
David.
said, I respect you guys too much. I don't want to spoil everything.
Well, I can tell you that I have been out here talking to people as they've come out, that are asking what we're doing here, and I've heard very few negative things.
That's good.
Probably about 90% of what I've heard has been positive. People are saying it's awesome, they love it, that they might see it again. I've heard that a couple times, so good feedback, at least from the people here at the theater.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's got a little bit of everything for everybody, which is good. Yeah, like I said, you're gonna love it, you're gonna hate it, and I'm glad that a lot of people are like it because it's gonna make money either way. I'd rather it make money from people who like it.
It's going to make $1 billion.
Oh,
hands down. Hands down.
And to be clear, obviously we're big DC fans. We would prefer for a DC franchise not to fail.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
yeah. And I'd rather be a DC movie that we don't agree with as much than there not be a DC movie at all.
Agreed.
So,
Completely agreed.
They actually, I think we should note, they actually tried to do this several years ago. I believe in 2007 with George Miller. I mean, many of you may remember George Miller.
Oh, yes.
Directed Mad Max films, all of them, actually. They was actually in line to do a Justice League movie. They had everything set up, but they couldn't go through it because of the writer's strike back in 07.
Right.
And then they tried to get it back together, and then things fell down, money issues and whatever, but that just never came to pass. And plus, I mean, they had the Dark Knight trilogy going on at the same time.
Right, exactly. It would have kind of cannibalized its own
you would have
thing.
had two different Batmans on screen. But this is actually the first time ever, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you're going to have Superman and Batman on screen together.
Just not animated.
Just not animated,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that.
And it sets up a larger universe. It sets up the whole universe, the whole DC cinematic universe. Which, I'm sorry, like what we said earlier with Justice League Part 1 coming out in a couple years.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
And there's a part of this movie that if you are a diehard DC fan, you're going to wet your pants a little bit because it kind of shows what's coming. And that's one of the big things that I love about movies, like this and with, like Marvel stuff is I like to see glimpses of what they're going to do. Right, exactly. I like to see the little strings that they kind of let out there. And like I said, there's a part of this movie that gives me just butterflies to see what's going to come after this. And not just Justice League, but it sounds like even maybe what's going to happen in Justice League or even further after that. So,
So you guys came up here early
yeah.
to watch the movie.
Yeah.
So what did you think of inside the theater here?
Oh, I mean, if the outside is any indication to anybody, it's beautiful in there. It's fantastic. I mean, again, we're used to a kind of a dingy theater that we used to go to, so it was a nice.
Very clean, very spacious.
Yeah, it was a nice, refreshing experience.
Inviting would be a good word.
Inviting is a great word.
It's
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
inviting.
That's the word
Absolutely.
for it right there.
If you've ever sat in the seats here, they're extremely comfortable.
Oh man,
I could
yeah.
I could go to sleep.
that's a deal breaker. You
That is
gotta
a
have
deal breaker.
you
You
gotta
gotta have
good
comfortable
seats.
seats, man. You can't sit in a 2.5 hour long movie sitting in sitting on a wooden bench.
Totally
Right,
agree.
no, it's awful.
It sucks.
But who
awful.
could go to sleep during Batman versus Superman?
I couldn't. It was I couldn't.
This is, from what I hear, this movie is going to be total metal, total rock music, total Metallica, in your face, just guitar strings and everything.
Alec, was it in your face, brother?
It's very loud. Yeah. No.
See?
Just like any movie, like it takes a second to like get the ball rolling. Obviously, especially when you have to introduce a lot of stuff. But once it gets rolling, it's pretty nonstop, and I mean it keeps you pretty much hooked once it starts, which is great.
Gotcha.
They shouldn't have taken they did the right thing of it. Once it gets started, they don't take breaks and things like that. It was just
keep me entertained.
right, exactly.
Right,
Right.
Just keep me entertained.
Right.
That's all I care about.
Exactly.
Was there anything in the movie that you lacked, that left you unsatisfied?
Doom, doom, doom.
Yes.
Here
I
I
love
go-
the
here
looks
I
on
go-
their faces right now.
Here I go into interviewer mode.
Yes.
Yeah. There, like we touched on earlier. I thought Eisenberg's performance was less than stellar.
Right. Being a Batman purist, there's a lot of Batman stuff that I don't really love.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying not to be so negative because it's the first episode. And I want to be back at some point, so I don't want you guys to say, "Well, never again." How the story's kind of told is a little mishmashy. Whereas in Man of Steel, like you kind of kept flashing to current Superman to back Superman to kind of middle Superman. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more of this where you flip between a bunch of different people.
Will Pearl Jam be involved? Like in Man
The
of
band,
Steel?
the band
Yeah.
Pearl Jam? No.
Like in Man of Steel, when they always flash back, they had that Pearl Jam music and.
Oh, that's right.
everything.
Yeah, I didn't even, yeah. Not in this.
Okay. All right, just wondering. Just wondering.
No Pearl Jam.
Okay.
But yeah, without being super negative or going too in depth to it to ruin it to anybody, yes. I think we both have a couple of things that we're not really huge fans of.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have that with movies, you know.
Sure,
absolutely.
You're gonna have there's gonna be a lot of things in different movies that people's not gonna like.
You're exactly
Absolutely.
right. But I wanted to know what my friends from Nerd Management had to say.
I mean,
Is that a Nerd Management comment, or
He still doesn't want to give
are
away
you
spoilers
speaking
of the
for
film.
Nerd Management when you say that?
I'm
you-
gonna say yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna say we are because Warner's not here.
right? He can't defend
He
himself.
can't defend himself, so I'm gonna say yes. This is
Right. I will
the
say,
sentiment of nerd management.
if Warner were here, he would say that he very much loved the movie. He thought it was very great, very good.
Warner is not here, so let's talk about him a little bit when we get off the air. How about that?
That's sure. I'm fine with that. Absolutely. Have you seen the pants he wears? I mean,
Each different color pair of pants is a different condiment that you can find in your fridge. He has ketchup pants. He has mustard pants.
he has mayonnaise pants.
He has
which are just all
he
white.
does have relish pants.
He does absolutely.
You know what he needs in his life?
What's
Some
that?
Goodrich Quality Theaters, which are sitting right here at Hamilton 16
It's a
IMAX.
beautiful segue.
That was
Hamilton,
Beautiful segue.
Hamilton 16 IMAX, Hamilton Town Center in lovely Noblesville. Batman versus Superman is what we're doing tonight, April 15th, Mandy. We are doing The Jungle Book, our next show here at
Yes,
Hamilton.
we are very excited about that movie.
Well, now we got all the little flubs out of the way and the little intricacies of our very first premiere live episode in one spot.
This is fun.
Now we'll know our challenges and our strong points.
Yes, we will.
I want to thank Goodrich Quality Theaters, Hamilton 16 IMAX. I want to thank my buddy David Banks, Indie Drinking Dead and Then Some, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Alec and Rob. I'm just using your first name, Alec. I know your last name, but I don't know Rob's last name, so I can't use his last name.
It's kind of weird. Are you ready?
I'm going to write it down.
Ready.
It's a Ropka.
What kind of name is
It's
Roka?
German.
Straight up German.
It sounds like you're trying to say a name and just stop halfway through.
Right.
I feel like we're at a Greek wedding and we're going to be like, Lupa.
Right,
Throw
right.
The,
But yes,
the plate on the
it's
floor.
incredibly German. So
Rob Rokwa.
Robka.
Did
Yeah,
I add a
ju-
Q to that?
what's
I
that?
think I added a Q to that.
You're
somewhere.
like, well, qua.
Ropka. You know what? I'll run with it. Why not?
Let me try this again. Alec and Rob from Nerd Management. And where
sounds great.
Where can we find you online, gentlemen?
You can listen to the podcast at soundcloud.com/nerdmgmt. Like I said earlier, we're on all of the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, and Instagram. All of them, other than Facebook, is nerdmgmt. Facebook is just Nerd Management, of course. Yeah, we've got, we just recorded 118 episodes, so you can't say that
Very
there's not
nice.
enough stuff out there. So, yeah, I mean, if you're interested in me, I'm on Facebook at just Alec Ward.
If you're interested in me.
Right, I mean,
We're
Oh,
all
oh.
interested in you.
Thanks.
You're going to have friend requests all over the place.
you know,
I'm
I can
really-
only hope. I can only hope. Do you want to spell your last name? Oh, by the way, don't feel too bad, Johnny. I've been best friends with him for 10 years, and probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 years into the friendship, I stopped calling him Rob Ropke. So yeah. So don't feel too bad. Don't feel too bad.
Now, one of my best friends is named Curry, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
It's very simple. Gentlemen, I want to thank you guys for helping us out tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Look
you
forward
very
to
much.
doing what you did today and seeing this movie here at Hamilton 16.
And again, just form your own opinion, like what you like about it. That's all.
Go into it with no biases.
That's
if you're,
perfect,
If you're
yeah.
a big Superman fan, go into it with a clear mind.
Yep.
If you hate Superman, go into it with a clear mind.
Yeah.
Or just go into it and remember Ben Affleck, there's a 5-minute scene.
Oh my
Absolutely.
Just working out.
Oh my
just
God.
just dripping with sweat.
Movie night with JL Media right here at Hamilton 16. JLMediatoday.com is where we can be found. We're also the producers of the local favorites Brother Beercast and IndieDrinkingDead.com. Until next month, we're signing off.
Enjoy the show.